Okay, children, good morning. So, today we will start the lesson. This is Jodi's phone. Okay, no problem. You grasp me now. Okay, so all of you take out your textbook. Textbook should be there with everyone. And those who are writing, sit down and write properly. Okay, no need to stand. So, name of the lesson is this is Jodi's phone. And what is a phone? A young deer. A young deer. And Jodi is the name of a person. Jodi is the name of a boy in this particular lesson. Okay, so this is Jodi's phone. This is Jodi, the boy's baby deer. Okay, now the story goes like this, children. Jodi's father was bitten by a rattlesnake. And as Jodi's father was bitten by a rattlesnake, to draw out the poison from his body, a deer's liver was required. So for that, the fawn's mother was killed. Okay, so that the deer's liver could be obtained and poison could be drawn out from Jodi's father's body. Okay, so for that, the fawn's mother was killed in order to save Jodi's father. Now, Jodi was of the opinion that the deer should not be left to starve because they had the father, this fawn's mother had saved Jodi's father's life. So the fawn should not be left to starve, and they should take all the care, that of the fawn, that of the baby deer. And that's why he requested his father to bring the fawn to his home. Okay, what happens next, that we will discuss in this. The story is about this. It is based on this particular thing. Okay, so before you read, children, yeah, children are joining there in the online class. So children, we are discussing lesson number 6. This is Jodi's phone. So before you read, often instead of rushing to the doctor to treat a small cut or burn, we find quick and effective cures using things available at home. This remains there, that people generally, when they have a medical emergency, medical problem, then stand up, remain stand. When people they have a problem, actually they don't consult to a doctor, rather than sometimes they depend upon home remedies. Okay, so often instead of rushing to the doctor to treat a small cut or burn, we find quick and effective cures using things available at home. We provide a self-treatment using the home remedies. Can you think of such home remedies? Any such home remedies? A cut on your knee, a burn on your arm, a bee sting. When any such kind of things happen, then people at your home, your family members, they prescribe certain home remedies. So the first thing that is done by people is to use a home remedy rather than to contact a doctor. And when they don't get a relief from the home remedy, then they go to a doctor. This is very normal. In this story, Jodi's father has been beaten by a rattlesnake. Now, Jodi's father has been beaten by a rattlesnake. He quickly kills a dog and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. Jodi's father is bitten by a rattlesnake, and he kills a dog and uses its heart and liver. What was used by Jodi's father to draw out the poison, deer's heart and liver. For that, a dog was killed. Jodi wonders what will happen to the little fawn left without a mother. Now, Jodi, he wonders. He was thinking continuously that what will happen of the fawn, the baby deer, which has been left without its mother. Who will take care of the fawn? Who will take care of the baby deer? That was Jodi's key concern. Now, how he tackled this issue? What was done in order to take care of the fawn of the baby deer by him? That we will read during this lesson. So far, the things are clear to you or not? Yes. Jodi's father was killed by a poisonous snake. Now, in order to save Jodi's father, the poison was to be drawn out. And for that, what was done? A dog was killed. And someone prescribed that the poison could be drawn out with the help of a dog's heart and liver. And that's why they killed a dog and utilized its heart and liver in order to draw out the poison. Now, this dog was having a young one, okay, a baby deer, and the child Jodi was worried about that what will happen of the baby deer as its mother has been killed, how it will survive and who will look after it. Okay, so Jodi allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. Now Jodi allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. Jodi was thinking about the fawn, about the baby deer. Okay, drift back, the meaning is already given, means go back to. Okay, go back to, it's already given there in your textbook. So Jodi allowed his thoughts again to think about the baby deer. He could not keep it out of his mind. He tried to keep out the baby deer out of his mind, but he was not able to do that. He was thinking continuously about the baby deer. What he was thinking? He was thinking that what will happen that of the baby deer, who will look after it. In his dreams, in his arms, he slipped from the table and went to his father's bedside. Now he went to his father, he stood there near his bed. When he lay at rest, when he lay at rest, his eyes were open and clear, but the pupils were still dark and dilated. Dilated means enlarged. Okay, Jodi said, "How are you feeling, father? How you are feeling at present? How is your health?" "Just fine, son. All the death has gone thriving elsewhere, but wasn't it a close shave?" "Just fine, son," Jodi's father said. "I am perfectly all right, just fine. All the death has gone thriving elsewhere." Okay, thriving means stealing. Okay, that it came to me, but it went away. But wasn't it a close shave? But it was a close shave. It was a narrow escape. It was a narrow escape. Now it has went to elsewhere. Okay, I agree. When he said, "I am proud of you both, the way you kept your head and did what was needed." So his father said, I am proud of you, my child. Okay, you responded well in this situation. Okay, you behaved in the manner that was required from you. But again the child said, Father, and the father asked, yes, son, do you want to speak something? Do you want to say something? But do you recollect? Recollect means remember. Do you remember the dough and the fawn, dough whose liver has been taken, heart and liver has been taken in order to cure you, and fawn means it's a baby deer. Okay. I can never forget them. I can never forget them. The poor doe saved me. That's certain. That's certain. That is definite. That I am alive today is because of the doe only. That has saved me. So how I could forget the doe? But the fawn may be out there yet. It may be. It may be out there yet. It might be hungry and very scared. It might be very hungry and it might be very scared. It might be very frightened. What it might be? It might be very frightened because it is all alone. Okay, frightened. You write. Scared means frightened. Scared, frightened. Okay. So I suppose so. But the fawn may be out there yet. It might be hungry and very scared. It might be hungry. It might be very frightened. Why it might be very frightened? Because now it is not having its mother to look after. I suppose so. And the father agreed. The father agreed that yes, my dear child, what you are saying that is absolutely right. It might be hungry because now its mother has been died and it might be frightened also because no one is there to look after it. Then, and I am a big boy now and don't, okay. So, the phone may be, okay, I suppose so. Now, further he added, I am a big boy now and don't need to drink milk. I am a big boy now. I don't need milk to drink. Why don't I go and see if I can find the phone? I want permission to go there in the forest and to see the phone and bring it here and raise it. I want to bring it. I want to raise it, bring it up, to domesticate it. Okay, to domesticate it, to raise it up, to look after it, Raise it up means to look after it. As there is no one to look after, we have killed the fawn's mother. So I want to bring it home so that we can look after it. Penny lay quiet, staring at the ceiling. Oh, you have got me hemmed in. You have got me hemmed in. Already I have written. Means in a spot in. Means in a situation of confusion. I am in a situation of confusion. That what I should do. It won't take hemmed in caught in a situation where one can't say no. Okay, it's given there in your textbook. Hemmed in caught in further. It is added in a situation where one can't say no. Because the child has already explained everything that we have used those liver and heart. Your life has been saved because of the dough. So now we should take care of it. It won't take much to raise it up. It will soon start eating leaves and acorns. Okay, acorns, that is the small brown nuts. So the child said that it will not take that much, it will not that much, it will not require that much care. At the beginning, it will require some care, but afterwards, it will learn to eat acorns and leaves. You are smarter than boys of your age. And the father said, you are smarter than the boys of your age. Why Jodi's father said like this? Why Jodi's father said like this? That you are smarter than boys of your age. Because the child was doing his level best to convince his father to bring the dough, to bring the corn home. He was providing all the arguments to justify that yes, we should bring the baby deer home. That's why the father said that you are smarter than children of your age. We took its mother and it wasn't to blame. We took its mother. The life of its mother has been taken by us. That's why it become our responsibility to look after it, and it's not at fault. Surely it seems ungrateful to leave it to starve. Son, I can't say no to you. And the father said, I can't say no to you. And we can't leave it to starve, to die out of hunger. It becomes our responsibility to look after the baby deer. After all, we have killed its mother. Okay, and now it becomes our responsibility to look after it. So I can't say no to you. I never thought I would live to see another day. At that time, when I was killed by the rattlesnake, I never thought that I will live to see another day. So out of that dreadful situation, I have been saved by whom? I have been saved by the doe only. And that's why it becomes our responsibility to look after the fawn. I agree with you. Then I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it. Millville is a person there in the family. So the child said, can I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it? Can I go there in the forest with Millville? Okay, and see whether it is there or not. Okay, so the child asked that can I go with male whale and see there in the forest whether the doe is there or not. Tell your ma I said you can go. Tell your ma I said you can go. Now he sidled back. Sidled back means walked back quietly, trying not to be noticed. It's given there in the textbook. You write it. Sidled back means walked back quietly. Walked back quietly, trying not to be noticed. So he sidled back to the table and sat down. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. He went there to his mother. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. He said, Ma, Pa says I can go bring back the phone. He said, the father is saying that I can go and bring the baby deer. She held the coffee pot in mid-air. Now, she held the coffee pot there in mid-air. Means she stopped immediately. What phone you are talking about? Okay, because she was not aware about what phone the child is talking about. Okay, what fawn? The fawn belonging to the doe we killed. We use the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Pa. The child explained that I'm talking about the fawn whose mother has been killed. in order to save father's life. She gasped. Gasp means breathed suddenly and loudly. Right? Suddenly and loudly. Okay. So she gasped. Who gasped? Jodi's mother. Well, for pity's sake, Pa says it would be ungrateful to live it to starve. In order to convince his mother, the child said that father is also saying that it will be ungrateful. It will be ungrateful on our part to left the baby deer to starve. Doc Wilson said, "That's right, ma'am." Now another character, Doc Wilson. Okay, Doc Wilson said, "That's right, ma'am. Nothing in the world comes quite free." What Wilson said, nothing in the world comes quite free. The boy is right and his daddy is right. Boy is right and his daddy is also right. If you have killed the doe, then you should look after the fawn, because nothing in this world comes free. So it becomes your responsibility to look after the baby deer, because after all, you have killed its mother for your benefit. So now you are supposed to take care that of the baby deer. Who said? Okay. Melville said, "He can ride back with me. I will help him find it." Melville said, "He can ride back with me. He can go with me there in the forest, and I will help him. I will help him to find it, to find the baby deer." She sat down the pot helplessly. "Well, if you will give it your milk, we have got nothing else to feed it." The mother said, "Okay, no problem. But in that case, you have to provide it your milk, because we are not having anything else to provide it, to feed it. Okay, you have to provide that to your milk." Melville said, "Come on, boy, we have got to get riding. Come on, boy, we have to go and find the doe." Ma Baxter asked anxiously, "You will not be gone long." Jody said, "I will be back before dinner for sure. Before dinner, we will be back." Melville mounted his horse and pulled Jody up behind him. He mounted on his horse and pulled back Jody behind him. Okay, you can see the picture now. The image is given, children, and you can see, you can understand that now where they are going. They are going there in the forest. Okay, they are there on the horse. Jody is sitting behind male. Well, for what purpose they are going? They are going there in the forest to find out the fawn and to bring it home. Why? Because the fawn's mother was killed by them in order to save his father's life. And now he thinks that it is their responsibility to look after the baby deer, the fawn. Otherwise, it may starve there in the forest. He said to Melville, "Do you think the fawn's still there? Will you help me find him now?" He said to Melville. Who said? Who is the speaker? Jody. And what Jody said? "Do you think the fawn's still there? It is still there. Do you think? Will you help me find him? Will you help me to find it?" "We will find him if he is alive." "How you know it is a he?" We will find him if it is alive." Now that is also a question that might be possible. It may be alive. or it may not. At the same time, we will find him if he is alive. How you know it is he? Will reply. The sports were all in a line on the baby deer's body. All the sports were in a line. All the sports were in a line on a dauphin passes. The sports are every which way. Okay, so on the basis of the sports which were there on the baby deer's body. Now, children, the comprehension check questions. Comprehension check questions. What had happened to Jodi's father? What had happened to Jodi's father? You tell Sakshi. What had happened to Jodi's father? What had happened to Jodi's father? Only let her to respond. Don't speak in between. All of you down your hands. Okay, otherwise you may have some problem. I am giving her ample time to think. Karishma Meghwal raised her. Now, yeah, Sakshi, the question is, what had happened to Jodi's father? Now, Sakshi, from last 20 minutes, we are discussing this. A number of times I have repeated it again and again so that all of you can understand it well. Now, children, when things comes like this, you find yourself unable to answer. It means that it doesn't mean that you are not intelligent. Okay, it means that you are not paying attention. You are not paying attention. Had you paid attention there in the class, you would have been a position to answer. So, what you should first of all teach yourself, what you should learn first of all. First of all, you should learn to listen. What you should do? To listen well. You be a good listener. And when you will listen well, definitely you will be in a position to answer. Is it clear to you or not? You listen well. What you people are doing, you are not listening. And consequently, you are not able to answer. It's very simple question, and you are unable to answer. What had happened to Jodi's father? What had happened to Jodi's
Sir,
father?
may I?
Yes.
Jodi's father has
Just a minute,
bitten
just
my.
a minute. LGF, just a minute. Yes, Rehan, you tell.
Jody father has been bitten by a rattlesnake. He kills a dog and uses its hurt.
So Jodi's father has been beaten by a rattlesnake. His father has been beaten by a rattlesnake. And further we discussed, as his father was beaten by a rattlesnake, so there was poison in his body, and to draw out the poison, the dog was killed because someone suggested it as a home remedy that if his father will be provided heart and liver that of a dog, then the poison will be drawn out and his life will be saved. So what is the answer? What had happened to Jodi's father? Jodi's father had been beaten by a rattlesnake. Jodi's father has been beaten by a rattlesnake. That you should have known. Okay, sit down. I will ask in between. All of you have to listen well. You have to listen properly. How did the dog save Penny's life? Penny,
Sir, may I?
his father. Okay, Jodi's father. How did the dog save Penny's life?
Sir, may I?
Yes.
Jodie's father killed the doe or she deer. He used her heart and liver to draw out the snake's poison. In this way, the doe saved Penny's life.
Okay, so how did the doe save Penny's life? The doe was killed for its heart and liver. Okay, so the doe's heart and liver were used to draw out the poison from Jodie's father's body. Okay, sit down, Tushari. Then why does Jodie want to bring the phone home? Why does Jodie want to bring the phone home? Why does Jodie want to bring the phone home? Why Jodie was that much eager to bring the baby deer home? Phone means the baby deer. So why he want to bring the phone home?
So may I?
No, see, before someone's name, don't use that. So you say Jodie. Jodie wanted to bring his because to save his father's life, the phone's mother was ill because someone suggested that a doe's liver and heart could save a person suffering from bitten by a snake. So in order to draw out poison, a doe's heart and liver could be used. And for that purpose, they killed the fawn's mother. So now Jodie was of the opinion that they should bring the fawn home in order to look after it. In order to look after it. Because they have killed its mother for their purpose. So now it's their responsibility, it's their duty to look after it. Got it? Good. You tried well. Good. How does Jodie know that the fawn is a male? How does Jodie know that the fawn is a male? How does Jodie know that the fawn is a male? Because of the spots on its body. The spots were all in a line. The spots were all in a line and they remain in that manner. They are on a male fawn's body only. Okay. The spots were all in a line and it was indicating that it was a male. So now you have understood, children, all the questions. Children taking the class online, you have understood all the
Yes,
questions
sir.
or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But children, at the same time, you should understand that it is not only the questions which are given there in the exercise, they are asked there in exam. Any theme-based question could be asked there in exam, as it was done there in the half-yearly exam. So what you should have depth knowledge of, you should have a depth knowledge of the story. You should have a depth knowledge of the theme. And everything related to the lesson should be there on your tips. You should have a well understanding that of the theme. And once you will be able to do that, you will be able to answer every question. Okay, students? So you should have a thorough knowledge, a depth knowledge. Okay, as many questions came there in this exam, that why the bird refused to go out there in the cage. Might be possible the question may not be given there in the exercise, but if you are having the knowledge that of the story, can answer that yes, it wanted to enjoy its freedom. It wanted to fly high there in the sky, and that was not possible there in the case. That's why it wanted. That's why it denied to go out there in the case. Likewise. So, children, so far all of you have understood. Okay. The questions also you have to do. Now the next part. Now what we will see there in the next part, whether they will get the fawn there in the forest or not. Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the fawn. They passed the abandoned clearing. Abandoned means a deserted, where no one is living. Abandoned, deserted. Okay, you can see what a desert is, where no vegetation. So, abandoned clearing means where no one was there. So, Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the fawn. They passed the abandoned clearing. He said, cut to the north Millvale. It was up here that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the dog, and I saw the fawn. So what he said to Millvale, cut to the north. Okay, walk there in the north direction. Because it was up here. It was this direction. Okay, in which father was there, father was beaten, and where the dog was killed. So the most probable location where the baby deer could be found is north. Suddenly Jody was unwilling to have Millvale with him. Suddenly Jody was unwilling to have Millvale with him. If the fawn was dead or could not be found, he could not have his disappointment seen. He could not have his disappointment seen. And if the fawn was there, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that it could not endure to share it. That he could not endure to share it. Now, Jody wanted that Millvale should not remain with him. Jody wanted that Millvale should not remain with him. He wanted to be all alone. For what reasons? Two reasons are there. One, if the baby deer will not be found, if the baby deer will not be found, then there will be a great disappointment. There will be a great disappointment on his face. And he did not want that anyone should see his disappointment. And if the baby deer would be found, he will be very much happy. He will be very much excited. So that moment of happiness also, he did not want to share with anyone. You have understood both the reasons? Yes. Why he wanted that Millvale should not remain with him. First, because if the baby deer will not be found, then there will be great disappointment on his face. He don't want to share that with anyone. At the same time, if it will be found, there will be great happiness on his face. That also he didn't want to share. Okay, so likewise. Now children, he said it's not far now, but the scrub is very thick. Scrub means shrubs, the thick bushes. Very thick for a horse. I can make it on foot. Now it is very difficult for a horse to pass from that area. So I can make, so we should make on foot. But I am afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake too. Millvale said that I don't want to leave you alone. Because if I will leave you here, might be possible this is a forest, you might be bitten by a snake or something. else. I will take care. And the child said, I will take care. It might take me a long time to find the phone. If he has wandered, leave me off right here. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north, here, and east. So Melville said, you know the directions, you take it easy. It may take me some time to find. Okay, first of all, he was not willing to leave Jodi all alone. Why? Because it was a forest, might be possible there may be some wild animal, or he might be bitten by some insect. Okay, all right, but you take it easy now. You know north, here, and east. So he told the child directions. There and there, that tall pine makes a bearing so long, Melville. I'm obliged. I'm obliged means grateful. He waited for the sound of the hooves, means feet of an animal. Okay, so he waited for the sound of the hooves to end, then cut to the right. The scrub was still, only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. Then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped into the air. He came into the clearing under the oaks. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe. Buzzard means a large bird like the vulture. So vultures were there around the dead body of some animal. They turned their heads on their long, scrawny necks. Scrawny means thick. What is the meaning of scrawny? Thick. And hissed at him. He threw his bow at them, and they flew into an adjacent tree. The sand showed large cat prints, but the big cats killed fresh, and they had left the door to the carrion of birds. The big cats, they used to eat fresh flesh, so the dead body of this animal, that was left for birds. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. It did not seem possible that it was only yesterday. The fawn was not there. He circled the clearing. There was no sound, no sign, no buzzards clapped their wings, impatient to return to their business. He returned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours, studying the sand for the small hoof prints. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of cat and buzzards. Okay, so there was no sign that where the baby deer has gone. It was not there near the dead body that of his mother, and some wild the vulture was moving there, and the other birds were there. Okay, so comprehension check question. Jodi didn't want Melville with him for two reasons. What are the two reasons? Already we have discussed. Okay, one, his emotions of disappointment. He don't want anyone to see his emotions of disappointment. And if it will be found, he will be very much happy. So that moment of extreme happiness also he did not want to share with anyone. Then why was Melville afraid to leave Jodi alone? Because it was a forest and there remains many wild animals and at the same time many insects. For that reason, he didn't want to leave the child alone. You understood all these things? So these questions also, children, you have to do there in your notebook. So children, taking the class online, here the class comes to an end. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Will you be able to do the questions there in your notebook?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, do the questions in your notebook and read the story again. Understand it well. The remaining
Okay,
part
sir.
we will discuss there in the next class.